Is it a scooter? Is it an adventure bike? No, it's the new Honda X-ADV. Today I got the chance to ride it in Sicily, and in the video I'll tell you what it can do and what it can't. Welcome to 1000 PS, where I had the opportunity to test the new Honda X-ADV. Yes, it's Honda's successful model in the adventure category. Since its release, it has consistently ranked among the top 3 best-selling Honda adventure bikes. Especially in Southern Europe, it's been a big hit, with over 76,000 units sold. This places a significant responsibility on Honda's shoulders to refresh it for 2025. They made several updates, and now we'll see what those are. Starting at the front, we have a completely new face with new LED headlights, where the daytime running lights are integrated. The daytime running lights also incorporate the indicators, so if you see an X-ADV on the street and aren't sure if it's the new one, check to see if it still has indicators. If they're not there, then it's the new model. Additionally, the bodywork has been revamped. Here we have a spectacular special edition in yellow, which I think looks very cyberpunk. It really stands out. Moving to the new windscreen, it's made of Durabio. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but it's definitely a recycled material. This was important to Honda for the X-ADV. For example, the windscreen and all the black plastics you see here are made from recycled material, so there's an eco-friendly touch. Notably, the windscreen can now be adjusted with one hand instead of needing both hands as before. It's not electric but mechanical, and it's very easy to use. Moving further back, you immediately notice the new dashboard. We have Honda's current 5-inch color TFT display installed, along with Honda's familiar controls. The display isn't touch sensitive and doesn't support Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. However, it can connect to the Honda Road Sync app, allowing for turn-by-turn navigation and other features like calls or texts. Moving further down, many of you have asked if the footboards have been enlarged, providing more room. Unfortunately, on the X-ADV, the footboards remain the same size. This means that if you stretch your leg forward, I'll quickly demonstrate with my size 43 shoes, you're already a bit overextended. So there's not as much room as you might want, though the footboard is still adequately sized. If you order the accessory package, it includes off-road foot pegs. And for those who asked about the 2024 model, if you bought foot pegs for your 2024 X-ADV and want to upgrade, you can simply screw them on here. Another new feature is the redesigned seat with a height of 810 millimeters. At the presentation, they told us that the developer is only 1.62 meters tall, so he wanted to improve the seat shape. What's new? Well, mainly the overall shape and the side flanks, making it easier to reach the ground. At 1.75 meters tall, I can comfortably put both feet on the ground and feel stable. Also new under the seat. For those who like details, we now have 2 dampers holding up the seat. Otherwise, under the seat you can fit a full face helmet. We also have new LED lighting, but space is limited. So you may need to turn to Honda's accessories for additional storage options like a top case, side bags, and even a center bag. I was also asked in previous YouTube comments how to handle the front storage compartment. Can you fit a modern smartphone? I have a Samsung S22 Ultra with a quad lock case, and unfortunately it doesn't fit. So if you want to connect it with Road Sync for mirroring or turn-by-turn navigation on the display while charging, you'll have to place it under the seat, where there's also a USB-C port. That's a brief overview of the new features on the X-ADV. It's more of a facelift, but let's take it out on the road and in the saddle of the new X-ADV to show you how it rides. Honda's adventure scooter, an absolute success, especially in Southern Europe, and that's exactly where we are right now, here in Sicily, to put it to the test. We're riding it today, having already tried out the Forza 750, the GT model, the relaxed version, but the X-ADV is the adventure-oriented model, and you can already see from the front with this incredibly wide handlebar that it's a real joy, not only when you go off-road and need to steer precisely, but also on country roads where it really shines. The wide handlebar gives you excellent leverage, allowing you to press it smoothly into curves. The DCT transmission responds sharply, and it's been updated. We also have multiple riding modes to switch between. I'm in standard right now, but let's try out sport mode. You can immediately feel that the gears stretch longer, which is great. The gears are stretched longer and respond more sportily. Of course, the safety features like ABS and traction control are less intrusive in sport mode, allowing a bit more freedom. And on the open road, it's a real pleasure. I can also confirm that the brakes are solid. There's a double disc brake in front, if I remember correctly, 298 millimeters. It's a bit smaller than the Forza's diameter, but it's designed this way because the X-ADV is also meant for off-road use, so Honda didn't want the brakes to be overly aggressive. Looking ahead, let's test if the windshield can indeed be adjusted with one hand. And yes, I can confirm it. Release the lever, push it up. It's an improvement over last year's model, where you needed both hands and had to pull a button to adjust it. Honda listened to their customers and improved it. In terms of wind protection, I can say that I have complete calm here. I can feel some wind on my shoulders, and my helmet gets hit slightly by the airflow's edge, but at 1.75 meters tall, it's really quite comfortable. And there's a sense of eco-friendliness, since the windshield is made of Durabio, or however it's pronounced, a recycled material, so it's good for sustainability. As for the suspension on these country roads, it's designed more for off-road with 153.5 millimeters of front travel and 150 millimeters in the rear. The front fork is adjustable for rebound and preload, and the rear shock for preload, but it's not soft or unsporty. I can really ride comfortably here, though not at the limit, since these are unfamiliar roads in Sicily, and the road conditions are just average. Plus, I want to share something meaningful with you as I ride. The suspension works well. It will reach its limit in high-performance scenarios, but that's beyond the X-ADV's intended scope. The ground clearance will eventually limit you, and the first thing that scrapes is the optional off-road foot pegs if you choose them as accessories. The X-ADV has always been a fun, unique concept. Scooter and adventure bike rolled into one, quite unique in its displacement class. And with this 2025 update, Honda has shown that while it was already good, they improved where it mattered. Another great feature for the X-ADV is the new cruise control. It works from 50 kilometers per hour, so unfortunately, not in 30 kilometers per hour zones, but above 50 kilometers per hour, it's easy to set. There's a button by the right thumb to activate it, and with the left thumb, you adjust it. It's simplified. Everything isn't clustered on the right side like on other Honda models. Honda listened to the customers here. Finally, in terms of ergonomics, many of you asked how it rides with stretched out legs and whether Honda has added more space. Unfortunately, for the X-ADV, the footrest area is still quite limited. With my size 43 shoes, it's manageable, but for larger feet, it won't be comfortable. In that case, it's better to use the regular foot pegs or add the off-road foot pegs. And finally, about the riding modes, we have a range of options. There's rain mode, which is great for wet conditions and city riding, where the DCT shifts more gently and the throttle is softer. Standard mode is good for everyday use, a relaxed setting. And unique to the X-ADV, there's gravel mode, which loosens up the safety systems for a bit more freedom on loose surfaces. However, the ABS can't be disabled, so for those wanting to drift on gravel with ABS off, unfortunately, it's not possible. Lastly, there are two customizable user modes, allowing you to adjust everything to your liking. So plenty of options on the Honda X-ADV. I'll lower the windshield a bit now to enjoy the sea breeze. And that's it from me, from the saddle of the new Honda X-ADV. We even went a bit off-road with it. The X-ADV is Honda's crossover bike, also known as the SUV on two wheels, designed for off-road adventures. It has 153 millimeters of front suspension travel and 150 millimeters at the rear. We briefly took it off-road on a gravel road to shoot some photos and videos, so the off-road ride wasn't extensive, which is fine by me as I'm not an experienced off-roader, so I can't give a precise account of how it handles on gravel. From my perspective though, I can say it works and you can move along. The exceptionally wide handlebar gives you a sense of comfort, making you almost forget you're on a hybrid scooter. So if you're taking your first steps in off-roading, this bike could be a great option and will bring you joy. I'll end with a final word and conclusion on the new Honda X-ADV. They've clearly made it more stylish for 2025, especially with the aesthetics, the easier to adjust windscreen and the standard cruise control. The X-ADV is such a unique scooter and a fun machine that I can hardly say anything negative about it. Sure, it would be nice if the cruise control worked from 30 kilometers per hour and the storage could be bigger. But if you're looking for a bike in this class, there aren't many alternatives. I think Honda has done a solid job with the X-ADV update. Anyone who wants this kind of bike or has the older model now has a reason to upgrade because the new features make it worthwhile. And there's always room for improvement, like making the cruise control work at a lower speed or refining a few other things. Honda has time until the next update, and I'm sure it'll come, as the X-ADV has always been a successful model, and that's not likely to change. I'd love to hear what you think about the bike, so please let me know in the comments. I'm very interested because for me it's clear once again that the X-ADV is a statement and a true fun machine. That fun is here today, and now I'll pass the torch to you to share your opinions in the comments. With that, all that's left to say is thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.